Hi, welcome to another episode of Piecing It Together, the podcast where we take a look at a new movie and figure out what other movies inspired it. And today on the show, we got a first-time new co-host, comedian Jason Harris, and we're talking about really one of the best movies of the year, 8th Grade. But before we get into any of that, I just wanted to make a few mentions here at the top of the show. Remind you guys that if you're not already, make sure you're subscribed to Piecing It Together. You can do that on Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Spotify, pretty much anywhere podcasts are available. You could also rate and review us on iTunes. That would be awesome. 5 stars would be great. And what else we got going on here? I'm a guest on a podcast called The Green Room Podcast, so make sure you go check that out. That just went up this morning, so go listen to me talk about music and movies and my podcasts and just a bunch of stuff. It was a fun conversation. And what else we got going on recently? Well, if you notice, today's episode might sound a little bit different. I'm in the middle of like a total computer meltdown disaster, so I don't want to bore you with all the details, but basically I'm jumping between laptops and computers and just trying to get this thing done and out to you guys. So I hope you enjoy it, and I'm sure we'll get this thing straightened out within the next week or something. But my computer is a mess. But we'll live through it. We'll get to some kind of solution. I don't know what's going to happen. But anyway, today we are talking about 8th Grade, the new A24 film. It follows the life of Elsie Fisher, a girl in 8th grade who is getting ready to embark on high school. And she does little YouTube video series like so many young kids do nowadays. And it's just a total look into the life of that age. There's so many parallels to what it was like for me and those of us my age. But at the same time, it's just such a different life now with social media and all that kind of stuff. And it's really amazing the way that they really shine a light on that. And it's crazy that this is a first-time writer-director. It's Bo Burnham, who's a stand-up comedian, and he really did an incredible job of doing this kind of really cool, unique version of a coming-of-age tale. And it was a lot of fun to talk about with Jason Harris. Let's jump right into the episode. All right, so today on the show, we have a first-time co-host with us. It's Jason Harris. Jason, how you doing?
Yay! I'm number one, the first co-host ever.
Well, that's not what I meant exactly. I meant like first time on this show for you. You're the first. This is the first time you've been the co-host. I screwed it up, didn't I? Nobody's going to know what I meant.
This is already going downhill. This is going to be very disappointed.
I mean, did you expect any less, though? I mean, come on.
I know I didn't expect to hit that high bar so quickly. I just thought it would be all this low point, but you know, say la vie.
Well, we'll see what we could do from here on out. We'll see if we could, keep a good level, keep things going well, but I'm glad to have you on the show. And, we've been wanting to do this one for a couple weeks now. We're going to be talking about 8th Grade. And, this is a movie that I really wanted to try to cover. It's already been out for a couple months now, but it's one I didn't want to let slide by because I think it's a really great one to talk about. And, with that said, I think we could kind of just jump right in because I think, we'll probably have some puzzle pieces that are a little different, maybe ones that neither of us had thought of, but I think there's a lot of also inspirations that are like kind of like right there on its sleeve. So it'll be interesting to see where things go with it. But, with that said, if you want to go ahead, you can go ahead with your first puzzle piece.
Okay. Well, do we have to tell the audience a little about the film, or do we just go in assuming they all know the movie already?
I do a little intro before that plays before the actual conversation. So.
I see. This is the magic, people. You're getting the behind the scenes stuff now.
That's right.
My first, the movie that and I haven't seen it in years, but that's okay. The first movie that this kind of recalled for me was Welcome to the Dollhouse, the Todd Solondz film from 1999 that kind of put him on the map right there. And that was just one of the first movies to me that captured the real awkwardness and angst of being an adolescent and having a crush and not fitting in, and figuring that if you can kind of make this thing work with your crush, then everything will work out fine.
Sure, absolutely. That's great too, because that is a major theme of the movie, is the awkwardness of growing up, of adolescence and all that. And that definitely, Welcome to the Dollhouse is such a great example of that. And it's a great movie too.
I got to check it out again, but I believe it would still hold up. I remember just watching it, and having grown up in suburban New Jersey, where, if I'm not mistaken, that film takes place. It felt very real to me.
Yeah.
So I know there are a lot of different aspects and themes we're gonna try to tackle, but to me, that was the overarching theme of the film, was the kind of idea of how difficult it is to find your place and find who you are at that age, and how heartbreaking that can be.
Sure, absolutely. And my first puzzle piece is a good, transition right into it. Is another movie, a little more broader comedy, but it's another movie that deals with the awkwardness of growing up, and that's American Pie. Which at the time really kind of captured, as silly and dumb as the movie was, it really did capture a lot of what, kids that age were like. Of course, that's senior year, I believe they were in, and this is 8th grade, but it's still a generational thing. It's a movie that deals with those transitions and all that, and of course, the banana scene is a little bit of a parallel to the pie scene. Not quite as graphic.
Yeah. The banana scene in this is quite good. Where she kind of YouTubes like how to give a good blowjob, and they tell her to practice on a phallic shaped food, and her the whole point is she hates bananas, but is confronted by her father, who doesn't know exactly what she's doing, but knows she hates bananas and is wondering what she's doing. So what I like about American Pie is I was of pretty much finished high school when that movie came out. I remember I was writing a screenplay about like my life in high school, and I saw that movie and I was like, God damn it, they like nailed it. Like
they stole the moment when I humped a pie. They stole it.
I've been humping pies for all these years, and now I don't have to do it. But I don't know. There was like, a lot of these, I think, why I like American Pie as a pick is because that idea of, the never ending fun that you could have in high school also is something a lot of movies leave out, right? Like it's all like, oh, high school sucks and this and that. But that was a good group of friends, and the party atmosphere. And a lot of people did have that in high school.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. I look back fondly at high school myself. I prefer my college years, but I certainly can't complain about my high school life.
Oh, I can complain about everything, but that I guess isn't the point of this podcast. So, so I'm just going to riff off of what you're riffing off of, right? Which is kind of these like seminal high school party films. And there is a great party sequence in 8th grade where our main character goes to like the cool girls party, and it's a mixed bag for her of, she is taking a risk there, and she's also not fitting in all the way and everything. So the next one, and I think it's like totally different tonally, it's even that next level of American Pie. I would say Project X, because of the use of technology. So that's another aspect of 8th grade, right? Where 8th grade is about, this girl's social media presence and everything like that. And Project X, was probably the most successful version of a found footage comedy that I think probably ever existed, I'd say.
You know, I never actually did see Project X. I remember hearing mixed things about it, but I did hear that it really does something interesting, whether people liked it or not, something interesting by combining comedy with found footage rather than the usual horror thing, you know?
Well, it was, I believe at one point in time, it was like the most illegally downloaded movie of all time, right? So that should show you how well it related to the generation, right?
Sure.
You know, because this is what, 10 years, I don't know how long ago Project X came out. I'd say probably 10 years ago.
Sounds
right?
About right.
So that was when, like, you know, kind of the torrenting kind of got a little more mainstream and everything. But the idea of documenting your life and everything that you're doing as a young person is, you know, obviously prevalent today on social media. And you can see in the scenes where she's on like Instagram and everything and how important it is to her and how she asked her dad to leave her alone. This is Kayla, the character's name.
Sure.
She asked her dad to leave her alone at dinner and just let her be on her phone. And as a father to like, my daughter is 4, that's like heartbreaking to me. I hope that never happens, but
it seems inevitable from what I know about people. But I'm obviously not a parent. But
yeah. So, but yeah, no, I you know, that was one of the prevalent kind of themes of this film was the use of technology in daily life and documenting yourself. And I do think whether you like Project X or hate it, like they did a very good job of that. So.
Sure. Absolutely. Well, that's actually a really great transition to my next one, because it also deals with the technological aspects of the film and specifically social media and all that stuff. And that's Ingrid Goes West, which is a movie that I absolutely love. And I, at the time, I thought was pretty much the most realistic usage of social media I've seen in any movie, you know, save for the crazy parts, but just the way that the characters actually use it in the way that the real world, real people do. I feel 8th Grade takes that and goes even a step further, which makes sense because of the generation that it's portraying. You know, this is some of the most realistic examples I've seen on film of, you know, what social media is and what it means to people and how it's used by people today. Whereas a lot of the time, you know, they do like little fake versions of it that just kind of work for a movie. And this, it was really basically what the internet is for most people.
I saw Ingrid Goes West and I did not like it as much as you did. I felt like it kind of fell apart in the end, and like there was a lot of forgiveness given to the character that was unearned at the end of that movie. But right. I understand your point of like kind of living in this world of social media and you know, like the essential nature of it to some people at this time in life.
You know, not to go on a big Ingrid Goes West tangent or anything, but I've heard that criticism a lot before. And to me, I think the ending is a lot more dark than they let on. I don't think she's getting forgiveness. I think she's just really going further off the deep end than she ever was in the first place. Whether or not that's true, I'm not sure. But, you know, to me, it's more of a darker ending with less forgiveness. But maybe that's just me.
whatever you have to do to fit it into your little box to love it, go for it, I guess.
Absolutely. So what would your next puzzle piece be?
Well, I got I don't know if you saw this one. This is a little obscure, but it's such a good movie. Rocket Science. Did you ever see that movie? It kind of put Anna Kendrick on the map back in the day. Did you ever see that film?
I'm pretty sure I did see it back when it first came out. I can't remember it very well.
I love that movie. It was about a high school boy with a stuttering problem, and he joins the high school debate team. You know,
I did see this. Yeah,
and it was just a great. Again, you know, I believe that one took place in New Jersey. Also, basically, if you want to grow up awkward, grow up in New Jersey, where I grew up. Is the point of this, but. Yeah, man, it was so good, and they captured like these relationships really well. So that, I guess, if you're looking for something a little more off the beaten path, that would be one that I would recommend and everything.
Yeah, no, that was a great movie. I forgot about it. It's been, I think I saw it when it first came out, and was that her first role or no? Anna Kendrick.
I think that was the first one I knew her from.
Yeah.
I mean, she was on Broadway before that.
Sure, yeah.
She really broke out and Up in the Air, but that was...
Right. Well, my next puzzle piece is another newer movie, which sometimes when I point out a newer movie as a puzzle piece, I mean, it's pretty clear that these movies might have already been in development or whatever. It's not really an inspiration, but I still see parallels, at least inspiration in the same places that each filmmaker was coming from. But another more recent movie is Lady Bird. Which is a little bit of a different stage of life, but also a look at, a young girl growing up and, kind of slicing into that particular period of her life and seeing what that's like for somebody, like really looking in and seeing that kind of a coming of age moment. And for someone who isn't necessarily always represented on the screen,
Yeah, and I think it's a great movie. A lot of good stuff in Lady Bird. I think, again, if I maybe I'm being a little too critical of certain films, but I really did like Lady Bird. I just felt like they missed their perfect ending and tacked on an extra scene at the end, and it was like one scene less, and this movie's perfect.
I agree with you 100%. Yeah.
But no, but that was a very good. I mean, Saoirse Ronan. Man, she can pretty much do anything, can't she?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, well, when I think of Lady Bird, it makes, obviously Greta Gerwig, who I believe is still dating Noah Baumbach, right?
I believe so, yeah.
So that leads me to two Noah Baumbach films that I feel like could be considered influences on this. One would be The Squid and the Whale. Amazing movie about two brothers, one in high school, one in about sixth grade, little younger, dealing with their parents' divorce and kind of how they grow up in that world. And the other, again, I'm going for obscure, is did you ever see Kicking and Screaming, the first Baumbach
You know what?
movie?
I own it and I've never watched it. The Squid and the Whale, I do love, and I think that's a great example. I've never seen Kicking and Screaming, though.
Well, go on and keep complimenting me on Squid and the Whale, and then
You're amazing, Jason.
The other one
I love these choices. You're amazing.
Thanks. No, but Squid and the Whale. You know what the biggest opposite of Squid and the Whale in eighth grade is eighth grade. You have this loving father who clearly cares more about his kids than himself, or his daughter than himself. And Squid and the Whale has one of the most egocentric lead characters that you've ever seen. But I again, it's like, it's kind of tonally just that, God, man, it's like life is tough enough when you're at that age, and then when you have to deal with all the a divorce on top of that, that's a difficult thing, not that there was a divorce in this one, but she didn't have, a mother in eighth grade. And there's a very good scene about that, about where she asked what, her mom would think of her.
It kind of hangs over the film, and it's really well done. I think the way that they handle the fact that the mom isn't there. It's interesting the way they do it.
I think so. And I think when you talk about something earned, there's a very poignant scene towards the, end of the film with the dad and the daughter. And after the daughter's had a rough situation, Kayla has a rough situation, and they kind of talk about their relationship and the missing mother, and also how important how important Kayla is to her dad to just kind of have a place in the world and everything. Sure. So that was kind of similar. Kicking and Screaming, totally different. It's about people in college, graduating college, who can't find their way. And I love that as a moment as a kind of subgenre of these coming of age stories, because a lot of them are high school going to college, but these kind of post college ones, I have another one on my list too, but and just not knowing where they fit in the world is kind of a unique subgenre of these films.
Absolutely. Yeah. Coming of age, I think, is something that is going to come up in a lot of these puzzle pieces that we're discussing here. I mean, that's really that's like the main theme here is coming of age movies. And, this eighth grade is such a unique one because it's dealing with something that it's funny because I think one of the main draws of the movie is how it's so similar in a lot of ways, but so different in a lot of ways to how, we grew up, or, our generations grew up compared to this generation, portrayed in this movie. But yeah, speaking of coming of age movies, my next one is Boyhood, which I actually have written here twice on my list by accident. So I must have really been thinking it.
Well, that's because it took 18 years to make. Yeah. So, you're allowed to put it twice on your list.
I was thinking about it the whole time. But yeah, I mean, if you take away the whole 18-year gimmick, which, I mean, I shouldn't really call it a gimmick because I actually did like Boyhood a lot. But if you take away that whole thing, you're still getting a very naturalistic, real version of growing up is, what's happening in Boyhood and also what's happening in eighth grade. Just, different people, different eras, really, and but both great movies.
I love Boyhood. I think it should have won Best Picture. It's forget it being a gimmick. Yeah. That's a huge achievement in filmmaking to put that, there. And Linkletter again is you could have chosen a number of his films, right? That could have been. I mean, in a way, Dazed and Confused is one of these. Into the Night.
I had Dazed and Confused on my list, as a matter of fact. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Spoiler alert, everybody. But I love that. I love Boyhood. I think that's a good influence for any film. I guess we got to go to, again, and what I like about eighth grade, Kayla is a very well realized, young female character, and like you said earlier, we don't often see that. So one film that, just killed it with that was Juno.
Oh, yeah.
So Juno, who my dog is named after, is on my list.
Nice.
Juno.
Nice. Yeah, Juno is that's a great movie, and I think it gets forgotten about a lot lately.
You know why? I think you're right. It's because it's so stylized in the dialogue and everything else, and it's just kind of like Jason Reitman hasn't really hit it out of the park since maybe Up in the Air, and Diablo Cody hasn't hit it out of the park since, well, I'd say young adult for Reitman, but and for Diablo Cody too. But that's a long time, that's a long time since they've kind of captured that zeitgeist of emotion.
Yeah, but no, Juno's a really good one, and yeah, all the also all of the way the characters talk and all that, the slang and all that. It's so like of the moment, which eighth grade is of now. It's so perfect with Gucci and everything.
Gucci. That's how she signs off her social.
That's how we'll be signing off this episode, of course. You're like, I did not agree to that. So my next puzzle piece kind of brings things back a little bit more towards American Pie territory. And that is Mean Girls, specifically with the interaction with some of the mean girls in her school, which is apparently still a thing now. Bullying and all that shit. It's terrible. And we saw it, in Mean Girls. We're seeing it here in eighth grade. The characters are very reminiscent of characters out of Mean Girls. I imagine those kind of girls grew up watching Mean Girls and apparently, thought it was okay to be the other side of the, of that dynamic.
Yeah, and you almost wonder. Hopefully, kids are a little more woke than we were, But I think we can all look back and And whether we were bullies or not, we can look back at things that we did that weren't great, and we had to learn from
Sure.
it. So that's my big speech. That's my big speech.
That was good.
Speech,
I liked it.
Yeah, I want everyone to feel like they can grow as people.
That's what this show is about.
That's that, and my next pick, which is a little kind of out there, but I think you can't talk about coming of age movies without it. The Graduate. I don't know, man. I think something in the comedy too reminds me of the way that like Mike Nichols just let things breathe, and this movie just lets things take that extra beat sometimes. So that is, I guess, the first modern version of a guy out of college who just doesn't know what he's going to do with his life. And, now I guess that pressure's on an eighth grader.
Yeah. Well, it probably is nowadays, I think Bo Burnham has actually said in some interviews that I saw about how like a big reason for the movie is just looking at how with social media, everybody is like constantly on. They have to experience life of someone who, has to know what they're doing and navigating the world and all that stuff at such a young age, when before you kind of had some time before you had to get to that point. And so she's like trying to make her YouTube channel and all that crap and trying to like really like be a person and everything, when really, I mean, she still should have time. I mean, we certainly did when we were that age.
It's nice to grow up out of the spotlight.
Yeah, I think he said specifically now everybody gets to know what it's like to be a D-list comedian as they're going through high school.
Which is probably why you had me on this show, because of my ascending comedy career, right?
If we didn't mention that, Jason is a comedian here in Las Vegas.
Just in Vegas, guys. Nowhere else. Never will I get booked outside the city. Thanks, Dave.
That's the worst.
Local.
That's the worst thing anyone could say.
Idiot. It's a horrible introduction for a comedian. This goes a local comedian. Like, man, I toured the country, bro. It's like, you know what? And they did it last night. I was working with a funny comedian, Jocelyn Sharp, and I can understand why people get pissed off. Women get pissed off. This next lady is a really funny woman. Yeah. It's like, you don't specify it. Just bring her up because she's a funny comedian. It doesn't matter, But yeah, you can see me here in Vegas, everybody. Nowhere else.
Yeah. Well, I'm the asshole right now, apparently.
According to local podcaster Dave Rosen.
I deserve that 1,000%. Oh man,
is it mine or yours? Whose turn is it?
I don't know. I just lost track, actually. I think it's my turn. I think you just did The Graduate, and yeah,
I did.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So my next one, and I could be wrong about this one. Let me preface this one. I could be wrong about this. There may have been something before it. But the first movie I can think of that did the webcam thing really well, was it the Unfriended horror movie series?
I never saw it, so okay.
Yeah,
you're gonna just have to take this one and run with it.
Sure. Yeah. And again, I could be wrong. There could have been like some huge movies before that I'm not thinking of, which is different from the found footage thing. It's more of just specifically speaking into the camera on your computer and having the whole computer interface and all that stuff popping up and everything. Kayla's making her web series, multiple times throughout the movie, and it's a big part of the movie. It's mainly what framed all the trailers and all that stuff. And so
it's used as narration. Yeah. Like I didn't mean to interrupt you. It's just used as that kind of narrator where you, instead of a voiceover, you're hearing it through her web series and everything. Yeah. Please go on.
Oh, Dave. No, you just said it better than I could have said it. But I actually have not seen the Unfriended movies either. I just remember them, and they're the first use of that device that I could think of. And it kind of showed that that is something that could translate to being used in a film, and so that's why I thought it would, be a good mention as a possible influence.
All right. Well, I have another one that has nothing to do with the coming of age or anything like that, but I want to put it out there just because of its use of social media, which would be Chef, because the whole movie is almost based on this dude getting a bad review on online and everything like that, and fighting back against the critic on his Twitter. And I just put it out there because we didn't want to just have all the same type of things. So it's just a little different.
Sure. No, I like that a lot. And yeah, I mean, I didn't think of that, but it's a really good one. That is another really good use of social media. The way that social media ends up, being such a big plot point as it continues on. And I love that movie. It's a really good movie. Yeah, no, that's a really good one. I actually only have one more puzzle piece here. I don't know how many more you have.
I hope you have another hour ready. No, I'm just kidding. So,
well, I'll go with this one. And this is more of a character thing, not so much the whole movie. But obviously, this movie is very funny throughout. But I mean, I think the biggest laughs come at the end with the character Gabe. And he's played by Jake Ryan. And I look at his character as sort of a McLovin by way of Wet Hot American Summer. And so those are inspirations for that character specifically, not so much the entire movie, but what a great character. I mean, I knew that kid in many ways. I was that kid growing up.
You haven't mentioned the movie.
What's that?
You didn't even mention the movie yet. What movie are you talking
I'm talking about Wet Hot American Summer and the McLovin character.
Oh.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay, you're saying both. I did. Okay, I did actually have Superbad on a list too.
Nice.
So I agree with you, and I think you're right. Wet Hot is. Think the awkward geeky kid, and yeah, that could be a number of characters in Wet Hot American.
Absolutely, right. And it's such a funny character. I mean, and he does it so well. That kid, he's so great. Yeah, played by Jake Ryan. So funny and a great way to. Because I can't imagine how else they could have ended that movie other than her befriending some goofy kid, because it seems like she found like her person, you know what I mean?
The nice thing about that is that she kind of becomes like I don't want to say the one in control, but the one with a little more confidence. Sure. And he's kind of like trying to catch up to her and everything.
Absolutely. So. And that's that adds to that realness. Cause I think that's kind of life. You're like, just kind of always, you're the friend and then you're someone's friend. Like, it's just a kind of back and forth as you maneuver that growing up thing. But yeah, that kid's great.
Yeah. This is 8th grade is in the top 3 for me right now for the year of
sitting
films.
at number 5 for me myself. But yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite movies of the year.
I thought it was the use of technology in regards to everyday applications as opposed to like making a big show out of technology was cool, and just the emotional power that he was able to work into these very simple moments really shine through for me throughout the whole movie.
Absolutely. I just thought of one more puzzle piece. Did you have another one?
I could. I mean, I would say we just talked about Superbad, right? So, I mean, in a way, I kind of feel like Little Miss Sunshine should be on this list for some reason, but I'm not exactly sure why.
Yeah, no, I could see that because, I mean, Little Miss Sunshine was, she felt so, awkward, but she learned her, her place and like learned how to enjoy, growing up and enjoy what's,
that kind of overcoming of obstacles and, putting yourself out there. That was kind of one of the other themes of the movie that I think Little Miss Sunshine did really well.
No, that's a really good one. Yeah, and my final puzzle piece then, one that I just thought of. I had actually thought of it before, but I forgot to write it down. It just popped back in my head. I was just talking about that actor, Jake Ryan, who played Gabe. He was also in my least favorite Wes Anderson movie, Moonrise Kingdom. I know most people love that movie, but Moonrise Kingdom, despite me not really liking it that much, I again, those kind of themes of growing up, the whole coming of age thing.
How could you call that your least favorite Wes Anderson movie?
Most people think I'm insane. I don't know what it is, and I should go back and try to watch it again one day. It's just every one of his movies has, on whether I loved it or I just liked it, like somewhere on that range right away when I watched it. When I watched Moonrise Kingdom, I was just like bored. I don't know what it is. It just didn't work for me. Yeah,
I love that movie. I loved it, and that to me was the movie that kind of like brought Wes Anderson back. Not that he was ever really away, but I think that movie like kind of started this new hot streak that he's on. And I think it's a good pick. And even though you're a dumb idiot about it.
Yeah, that's me.
Hey, you want to, let me throw out a movie that is not, I would say, no influence to this, but since we talk so much about good coming of age movies, I would recommend The Whackness for people who haven't seen that. I think it's on Netflix now. Jonathan Levine's first movie. It's such a great, just kind of like character piece on coming of age. And this guy who is the main character is not like this awkward, nerdy kid. He's like one of these kind of white hip hop kids from Brooklyn in the 90s, but it really works on a lot of levels and whatnot. So I would
movie. And, spoiler alert, I'm guessing it'll be one of our puzzle pieces when we do White Boy Rick in a few weeks. But if that's the rest of your...
You don't have to pay me for that one.
If that's the last of your puzzle pieces, I'm going to do what we call the finished puzzle here and list off all the movies that we just discussed. And that would be American Pie, Welcome to the Dollhouse, Project X, Rocket Science, Mean Girls, Boyhood, Ingrid Goes West, The Squid and the Whale, Kicking and Screaming, Dazed and Confused, Juno, The Graduate, Lady Bird, Unfriended, Chef, Moonrise Kingdom, Little Miss Sunshine, and a combination of McLovin from Superbad and Wet Hot American Summer. We could throw The Whackness at the end.
Most of those movies
it's
great.
Really a great list of movies.
Yeah, most of those.
Yeah, that's the thing when you're doing this show. Like that's one thing I've realized is that the more you like the movie, the more the list of movies is just like, wow, what a great list of movies. And yeah, I mean, we were already kind of getting into it a little bit there in the as we went through. But I mean, overall, I truly loved this movie. I do think it's one of the best movies of the year. I think it would be criminal if the screenplay isn't nominated for something come the end of the year. And Bo Burnham, I mean, great comedian, kind of just ended up coming out of nowhere with this, though.
I never got into him as a comic. It just didn't do it for me, even though he found a lot of success in it. But then again, guys, I'm just a local comedian who plays Las Vegas and nowhere else. So how can I relate to this social media star comedian? But what I'll say about this film is that it made me really excited to see what kind of movies he makes in the future. I'm very excited about him as a filmmaker. Absolutely.
And I'm curious to see if this girl, what's her name again? Hold on, I got my thing here. Elsie Fisher. I'm curious to see if she does some really good stuff in the future. I mean, she did a great job of this. I mean, it's an interesting character and it's so naturally done.
I think so. I think a lot of the trap of this movie is you can easily go too big, right? And play it too big. And she kind of was a little restrained in her performance, which worked out really well.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it really felt like a real person. I mean, I remember when the first trailers came out, I actually thought it was some kind of found footage type thing. I mean, it's just so real. One more thing before we close up. One more thing I wanted to mention was Anna Meredith's score. which the music in this film is phenomenal. It's just really weird 80s synth pop, mixed with a little bit of more modern sounding, like almost getting to trap rap or something. Like, I mean, it's some really cool sounds and very unique soundtrack. And it really worked amazingly well with all of the it helped heighten those feelings of awkwardness and tension, and especially like with the pool scene and all that kind of stuff. It was awesome. Really great score.
Yeah, it reminded me of what was that awesome? Oh God, I got to look it up. That great Ryan Gosling movie where he's the driver. Is it just called Driver?
Drive.
That one and that whole score. Yeah. Is that what it was called? Man, that score added so much to that film, and this kind of had that same feel to it in that way.
Definitely, yeah. No, great score. So yeah, we could wrap this thing up. Jason, you want to plug any of your local appearances that are coming up?
I'll be at the Elks Club 501, or I don't know enough about Elks Clubs. When does this air? Does it matter?
It should be up this coming Friday, actually. It'll be up this coming Friday.
The day that it's up, I'll be at Hooters Casino, a nationally known brand that has a local outpost. Not a Hooters restaurant where I have performed before, but this is the actual casino. Hey, but you know what I want to plug is this little project that I recruited your talents for. I had a web series out last year called The Defeated, which is about awkward relationships and how that worked. And now we're doing another web series called Copper Creek. 8 different little comedy, kind of slices of life that take place in a apartment complex called Copper Creek. That should be out in October, November. And Dave did a awesome song for a very heated ping pong match between a dad and a son.
Which is my specialty, by the way, ping pong music. Where can they find all this?
It's not a good niche. Yeah, I just watched that episode of Atlanta where they played ping pong, and I really felt they missed having your musical expertise on that one.
Well, I appreciate that comment.
I'm on social media all over Jason Harris Comedy or Jay Harris Comedy on all of the different things. And then Copper Creek has its own, just like the Defeated Facebook page. The Defeated was The Defeated Show, facebook.com/The Defeated Show. This one's facebook.com/Copper Creek Show. But yeah, we're going to be on all the social medias and should be releasing soon. Awesome. And we do not end any of the episodes by saying Gucci. So.
I will, though. Gucci!
This is Jay,
Aaron,
and Richard.
And we're the VCR Kids. We rewatch movies from our childhood.
They're mostly from the 80s and 90s.
And we decide whether or not it holds up.
Look up the VCR Kids on your favorite podcatcher and check out some of our past episodes.
We've watched Hook, All Dogs Go to Heaven, The Mighty Ducks, and more.
And check out our special episodes where we watch Harry Potter with our friend who has never seen them.
Search for the VCR Kids today. We'll talk at you soon.
All right. I hope you guys enjoyed that conversation with Jason Harris about 8th Grade. Again, it's a great movie. You guys really need to see it. Should still be in theaters for another week or two here at this point. It's been out for about a month and a half, so it is going to be leaving soon. But definitely get a chance to watch it, and if not, it'll be on VOD, I'm sure, pretty soon. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Make sure you check out Jason Harris's comedy and his web series. I'll put links to that in the show notes. And make sure you are subscribed to Piecing It Together. Again, you can subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn Radio, any of the major podcast apps. And you can rate and review us on iTunes, which is always incredibly appreciated. What else we got going on? We are now on TeePublic. You can buy our t-shirts, which you could also get the design on a whole bunch of other stuff, a hoodie, a coffee mug, a baby onesie. I don't know. There's like a whole bunch of stuff on there. I'll put a link to that in the show notes, or you can just search for Piecing It Together on TeePublic. So yeah, we got merch. And of course, you could also win t-shirts by making sure you're following our social media sites or sign up for our mailing list, because we're going to be doing all kinds of prizes and giveaways in the coming weeks, including t-shirts and other prizes as well. So make sure you are subscribed to us. You can subscribe to the mailing list at our website, piecingpod.com, or you could just subscribe to us on social media at piecingpod. Also, make sure to join our Facebook group, Piecing It Together, a movie discussion group where we have all kinds of conversations about the movies that we talk about on the show and just all kinds of other movies in general. And aside from that, we got a couple more episodes already in the can, so we should have an episode for you next week, regardless of if my computer gets fixed or not. But let's hope it gets fixed, because seriously, this is a freaking disaster. And speaking of which, it's hard to get back to my music, which, of course, I always leave you at the top of the episode with top of the episode. That's the beginning of the episode, isn't it? Not the top of the episode. What's the end of the episode? What's like the opposite of the top? The bottom? No, it's not the bottom. That seems like the beginning too. I don't know. But we end the episode with a piece of my music, and I'd love to make some new music, but with my computer the way it is, it's been a little tough lately. But hopefully I'll be back to making some more music soon, because I am in the middle of a new album, and I want to get some new music out for you guys too. So with that said, I'm going to leave you with a piece of music. I'm on my laptop right now, so I don't have all my music in front of me, so I don't know what I'm going to play. But I'm going to insert a song here in a second, and I'm just going to say goodbye to you guys for this week, and I'll talk to you next week.
and all points west.